up, guys? It is your boy Mohawk Joe back with another Mohawk Joe. It's your boy Liam back with another video, and now today I got a mohawk. But seriously, that's not what this is about. Today we're gonna be reacting to a scary video. Say hi to my brother.
Hi, brother.
Thank you, guys. Mike overvoiced it. Okay, so I got a mohawk today. Now, I've been playing this game called My Arcade Game. I don't know. But that's not what we're going to be doing today. Today is going to be a scary video. You might have heard it from the title. So, yeah. It's going to be a scary video. Scary! Scary. I'm talking like skirt. Okay, everyone. So we are going to do... Does anybody know who BLACKGRYPHON is? Anyone? Anyone? Well, if you do, smash that like button, boys. Scary. Okay, so apparently he met a ghost, okay? Yeah, we're gonna be doing something different today, a little different. Scary video, you already know.
You know that 90% of students use Quizlet.
I don't care if 90% of people use Quizlet, shut it.
Hello everyone, my name is Gabriel Brown, or BLACKGRYPHON, and we're going to try something a little new today because I have to pick my nose. I'm going to tell you a story about the very unusual things that happened to my family when I was growing up in South Dakota. But first I want to set the mood. Ah, that's better, and spookier. Let me start off by saying that I don't consider myself to be a superstitious person. I prefer logic and reason to reacting to my emotions, and I'm constantly reevaluating what I think to avoid confirmation bias. That said, I still cannot explain the things that happened to me and my family when we lived in our house in South Dakota. All of this is completely true, by the way. I'm not just trying to spook you. This stuff actually happened. I actually went and got videos from my other family members confirming what they saw. But for now, I'm going to tell all of the stories from my perspective and as I've heard them tell me, because I'm not the only person who saw and heard things in this house. My dad bought 6 acres from a farmer in Garrettson, South Dakota, and built a house on it in 2003 when I was 13 years old. So you guys know I come from a family of 6. There's my mom, Susie Brown, my dad, Ray Brown, my brother, Nathaniel Brown, or Basic, my sister, Naomi Brown, and my youngest sister, Susanna Brown. We were ages 13, 11, 9, and 7 when we moved into that house in South Dakota. I don't know what age my parents were. I think they've always been the same age. We lived there for 2 years, and nothing weird happened until he built an addition to the house. It was hexagonal in shape, and it was our new living room. He changed the front door, he added a basement, and just expanded the house a little bit because we were getting bigger and rowdier and we needed more space. That's when things started to happen. At first it was relatively benign and stuff that I could easily explain away. We kept hearing what we thought were footsteps, and we would only hear it when we were sitting in the new basement.
Yeah, you see right there what he just said? Here. Oh! No. Hey. Flip! No, that is creeps. And also, today's 4th of July, so let's get going.
It was always 3, and it would always stop right over top of us. It happened so frequently, and all of us heard it, that Dad told us that it was the air conditioning, and when it would come on, the pipes would expand, and we were hearing 3 successive clicks as the pipe would expand down the line. That made sense to me. Occam's razor, it's never ghosts. But things got worse. Then the dreams started. The first person to have reoccurring dreams with the same repeating themes was my sister Naomi. She would have very distinct music that would play every time something bad was about to happen. It sounded like this. And she would see the same three characters in all of her dreams. The first character was someone she called Lightning Man. He was a guy that would show up every time there was a thunderstorm. If the lightning would flash, he would only appear in the middle flash. She would frequently get out of bed to go to the bathroom.
That scared the flip out of me, just so you know.
He'd be standing at the end of the hallway.
I used to have this dream that my mom and I were in a city, and we were getting bombed.
Yo, wait a minute.
Right towards us.
Open the door, he'd be standing at the end of the hallway.
What? Can you all see that face? That is the face of I'm about to get the flip out of South Dakota. If I see this, I'm moving to Mars. Elon Musk better come up with some type of technology, because if I see that, nah, I'm moving to Jupiter. Although you might die on Jupiter, you might fall out of it because it's just a big ball of gas. I mean, yeah. But still, that thing's creeps.
I used to have this dream that my mom and I were in a city, and we were getting bombed, and one bomb came right towards us, and we died. But then the dream replayed in slow motion, and I was embracing my mom, and then I just saw her face slowly getting torn to pieces and burned to a crisp from the bomb. Out of my peripheral in the corner of my eye, I just saw this antlered figure, and all the while this song was going on that played in all of the nightmares I had while living in South Dakota.
Creeps!
Then I started having dreams. It also had a sound that would repeat, and it was always the same. My vision would leave my body, it would go out my window, and it would go across the field to a forest that was about a quarter mile from where our house was. It would zoom up to the same log, and I remember this because it happened so many times. The log had a mushroom on it. It was rotting, and I would hear this sound, a very low pulsing sound, like whoom, whoom, whoom. Closest thing that I can compare it to is a bullfrog. I don't know if you've ever heard a bullfrog chirp, but that's what it sounds like. I had these dreams for probably 3 or 4 months.
A bullfrog almost sounds like a duck.
It got to the point where I was so sick of having that dream that I told my brother that I wanted to go to this woods, which I had never gone to before, just to stop having that dream. I didn't expect the log to be there, but it was.
Oh my god.
Exactly like it didn't.
No, if there is a log in your dream and you go to the same exact one that looks the same, get out of the house. Why is that not the first thing you do? Some scary person. Jason Voorhees probably lives in that house. I'm telling you, bruh. Okay, next one.
My dream. And I had never been to that forest before. I don't know why I knew it was there. And
I wonder why.
13-year-old me did not know what to think. So I
don't think
wouldn't
anything
approach the
else.
log. My brother did. And he found something behind it. It was a chewed up doll. Not a Barbie doll. It was like the...
Oh, hell no. No. Did you see that? I'm just kidding. Okay, did that scare you any guys? I mean, it might not. Now I scared you. Alright, moving on, night.
Those, what are they called? Like Cabbage Patch Kids. It was, the body was soft and the face was hard. But half of the face was chewed off. And we freaked out, but like playfully, you know? Because even at this point, stuff wasn't weird enough for me to start being superstitious. When this stuff happens to you in real life, you don't react like you're haunted. You just think, wow, what a crazy coincidence. I also kept having this voice. Now this sounds like I'm schizophrenic. You know, and this could just be my age. We were all, you know, going into puberty. You're brain's going crazy, all kinds of endorphins going on, and weird things start happening. But I just had a lot of really strange dreams. I would hear this voice as I would lay down to fall asleep that would say, something's coming. I didn't know what it was, but I did know that I had to turn my light on before it got there. After Nathaniel found the doll, things got a lot worse. It was about a year later. I was 14, my brother was 12. My parents, along with my sisters, who were too young to be home alone with us, were out at the store. We lived in Garrettson, South Dakota. The closest store is about half an hour drive. And so sometimes when the parents would go to the store and Nathaniel and I were home alone, we would play video games. And Nintendo 64 was usually our game of choice, and Super Smash Brothers. I mean, come on. We were playing, and we heard the footsteps again. We paused the game. Are they home? No, it was the footsteps. At this point, it was such a common occurrence. We all knew it was the air conditioner. We didn't really bother with it, so we turned the game back on. We kept playing. Played a little more, played a little more. Heard footsteps again. This time it was 5, and we were like, wait. They're not home. I think we even called out, Mom? Nothing? Okay, they're not home. So we started playing. About 20 minutes later, we heard the sound of the garage door opening. Pause the game. Yep, they're home. So we start putting everything away because we weren't supposed to be playing video games when the parents were gone. So we could go help them bring the groceries in. As we are putting the games away, we hear the door to the mudroom slide open. And then we hear rustling bags, and we hear a little girl's voice. We presume that to be Sienna, obviously. She's always talking.
Oh, jeez, this is
the door
scary.
to the kitchen open. We're walking up the stairs, and we hear rustling bags, footsteps, and a little girl's voice. I'm sure you can guess. But the second we hit the landing of the stairs, where we were high enough to see into the kitchen, all of the sound stopped. And we thought, that's weird. Well, they probably all went back into the garage to get more groceries. So we came up, we went through the mudroom, we opened the door to the garage. Before we opened it, I actually said to my brother, what would you do if they weren't home? We used to play that game when it was something like insane that could never happen.
Gabe looked at me and said, what would you do if Mom wasn't here? And I was just kind of like, yeah, right, that's impossible. Like, we both looked at each other at the exact same time, turned off the video games as fast as we could because we knew we weren't supposed to be playing them. As we started coming upstairs, we noticed that there was no one in the house. We were like, hey, maybe she went back into the garage to get more groceries. We started walking through the mudroom to the garage, and we noticed that there was no one in the mudroom. We opened the garage door, and sure enough, there was no one in the garage. No car in the garage, and the garage door was closed.
But still, we didn't think, oh my gosh, a haunting. We thought they must have left something at the store and had to go back to get it. So we called Mom, and she answered. And we said, did you guys forget something? Did you go back? And she said, no, we're just leaving the store now. We'll be home in half an hour. I have no idea what that was, but my brother and I both heard it, and it lasted for a long time.
At that point, we freaked out. We heard the little girl's voice. We heard the bags rustling. We heard the garage door open. We didn't know what to think. We ran into our rooms. We closed our doors. We locked our doors, and that was it. We were so freaked out.
But there's a lot more. Because we're stupid kids, when it would get dark, sometimes a low fog would roll over the cornfield where our house was situated.
That's pretty scary.
I cannot stress this enough. We lived in the middle of nowhere. We had 6 acres in the middle of a 100-acre plot, and our nearest neighbor was a quarter mile away. So naturally, when you live in the middle of nowhere, it's a good idea to go walking in the dark out to a cornfield.
Obviously.
We would go walking out in the field at night. And I used to love to try to scare them. I would throw up little pieces of corn cob and I'd throw it, try to get it to land next to them and make them jump. I still do that. Just ask my off-screen associate.
It sucks.
We're walking out there and Nate and Katie go, do you see that? And Katie goes, yes, who is that? I'm like, who? They're like, on the top of the hill over there, there's a little girl standing on top of the hill.
Why do I care so much what people think?
Oh, ads. I don't care.
I'm like, okay, I don't see her, but you guys clearly do. So we start approaching that little girl. As we were about halfway there, when Nate and Katie, at the same time, look at each other in sheer panic and scream, did you hear that? And then they ran. They took off towards the house as fast as they could go. And I'm standing there in the field going, what the heck? So I took off after them. When we got in the mudroom, Katie was despondent. She was quivering and she wouldn't speak. And I thought it was annoying personally. I was like, come on, stupid baby. Girls, am I right? Cooties! I asked Nate what happened after Katie went home, and he told me.
Me and my friend Katie heard a very distinct young girl scream. And it sounded like she was very close to us. It sounded like she was maybe
Probably.
right next to us.
A scream.
Probably.
A blood-curdling scream. Sounded like it was from a girl. And
God! Oh, why? 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 Scary. Oh! I'm not scared. You're scared, huh?
Oh!
Oh my gosh,
It's okay. Don't do that again, please. They said it was right behind them, but I didn't hear it, and I was maybe 8 feet behind them. I should have heard it. And I understand that once you get the idea in your head that something's going on, your confirmation bias kicks in, and you start to see it everywhere you look. The thing is that it didn't just happen to me and my siblings. My mom, who I would say is the most practical person I have ever met. One night, she was falling asleep, and she says, I wish I could get her to say this for me. I'm gonna go get her and see if she'll just come in and tell this part of the story. This story is so much better when Mom tells it, but she doesn't want to talk. But just so you know that I'm not making this up, I have brought her here. This is my lovely mother, Susie Brown. She has the same last name as me because she's my mom. Or arguably, I have the same last name as you. And you have the same last name as my dad, so I'm just confused. Do you want to tell the story? Mom doesn't want to tell the story. So I'll tell the story, and then you can tell me if I'm getting anything wrong. So Mom was falling asleep. Do you have any idea what time it was? Midnight?
No, it was probably more like 3 because your dad was coming home from band.
She heard the voice of a little girl whisper in her ear off the side of the bed, "He shot at me." I don't know why you told us about that, because that was the most horrifying thing.
Oh! Move
But that's the
out!
thing. I would not call our family superstitious in any way, but this happened. I can't Occam's razor it away unless I stop trusting my ears and eyes and the ears and eyes of everybody else in my family. I really don't know how to explain what happened. When it first started happening, it was just kind of a fun thing to talk about, like the footsteps, that Dad said was the air conditioning.
I would say that when it was happening, I didn't take it very seriously, but later when I put all of the different things together, then I thought, this is weird.
That's right, because we weren't really discussing it beforehand. But afterwards, when we would tell the stories, we realized that it kind of had a repeating theme. Everything involved a little girl.
Did you tell about Bella?
No! Bella's next. Do you want to be here for that, or would you like to leave now?
I think I would like to leave.
Okay. Thank you, Mommy. I love you. My beautiful mother.
Aw,
She's taken, folks.
that's scary. I mean, cute.
I don't know. My aunt, Amy, on my mom's side, moved to South Dakota to be closer to my mom. She had recently had a daughter named Bella. Bella was, I believe, 1. Bella was not a fearful child, but for whatever reason, she
That's
was
creepy.
terrified of the addition, specifically the door area of our hexagonal room. When she was over, and I think it was every time she was over, she would always point to the door and go, "Scary, scary, scary," and start crying. Once again, I cannot emphasize enough how unsuperstitious my family is. It may have even been a fault at this point, because we would just laugh when stuff like that would happen. Oh boy, here we go, the house is haunted. The kids would call, when we would hear the footsteps, we would call it a name. What was it? I think it was Shirley. It was Shirley. Just as a joke, mostly to keep ourselves from getting too scared. But we'd be like, oh, here, that's Shirley. Shirley's upstairs. Come on downstairs. Like, that's just kind of how we dealt with it. Bella didn't find Shirley so comforting. This went on for about a month, with Bella reacting every time she would be in our house. One night, Aunt Amy was over, and I forget what they were doing. Mom and Aunt Amy like to do crafts and make clothes and stuff like that. They're sitting in the dining room, which is just across
Why?
to the house. And Bella starts pointing at the door. "Scary, scary." And Aunt Amy goes, "Susie, she's doing it again." And then right as she pointed, the door opened. The door to the outside. opened. And Aunt Amy ran. She just ran. She didn't run. She ran in the opposite direction of the door. And then Mom's like, calm down, it's fine, it's whatever. But by that point, enough stuff had happened, and all of us had experienced something. Mom told a friend of hers. Mary Hennebrey was her name, and she was the mom of some of our childhood friends. Mom told the story kind of playfully, just like I'm doing now, but Mary didn't think it was so funny. See, Mary was Catholic, and she firmly believed, by everything that Mom was saying, that our house was haunted, but not by a ghost. Mary said that based on the stuff Mom was saying, and on her research into the stuff, the house had been possessed by a demon, pretending to be a little girl. Mary
That's a scary picture, and I don't know how he got that, but it's gonna make me pee myself.
And one day, Mary came over. We weren't home. I didn't even know this was going on at the time. Mom told me this later. And went around our house and cleansed it, blessed it. Man, somebody tell me what that means. I don't know if spray holy water or whatever it is, pray over it. I'm not sure.
Spray the holy water, like what? Come on, Black Gryphon, you know this.
Stopped. All the reoccurring dreams stopped. Even the footsteps, which we heard daily. We lived in that house for 2 more years before we sold it and moved to Alaska.
Why?
But in those last 2 years, nothing else happened. And sometimes I wonder if it's the placebo effect. You expect subconsciously for the ceremony to work, and it does. At the time, I didn't actually know that happened. I wasn't told that Mary blessed the house until after.
Creepy.
Because I think my mom thought it was a little weird. At any rate, that is the story of the haunting of our house in South Dakota. I still don't know what it means. All I know is what I experienced, and I can tell you that everything I've told you is 100% true. If any of you guys have had similar experiences or different ones that you would say border on the paranormal, please leave them down in the comments. I read as many of the comments as I can, and I'd love to hear about them. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, you can check out some of my other stuff. It's not nearly as spooky, although some of my impressions are scary bad. I'd like to give a big spooky shout out to my patrons on Patreon. Oh, thank you for supporting me. If it weren't for you, I couldn't relive my worst nightmares. That sounds like a bad thing. And I'd like to thank you guys once again for watching. As always, like the video if you liked it, or dislike if you disliked it. Subscribe for more.
You heard the man right here. You better subscribe to him. Like this video. Go like it.
And I'll see you guys later.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so go to subscribe to Black Gryphon.
Stop it.
I don't know.
You can go to, just search up Living in a Haunted House - Storytime in all capitals. Or just go to his channel, subscribe. I'm already subscribed. And like. You should probably do that on this video. Comment if anything scary ever happened to you. And I'll see you in the next one. We gone.